Hi, this is Suhaim of the Summit of Startup East, and today I'm here with Carissa Boer of Pilōtalk. Pilōtalk recently won the second place prize at Startup Weekend here in Fredericton. To start off, tell us what Pilōtalk is.
Yeah, so Pilōtalk, what it does is it uses a technology called binaural audio, and it allows people listening to audiobook stories to really perceive the narrator in the room with them. So it really creates a kind of a human element to the audiobook experience.
Okay, so when you say human element, it sounds like it'll feel like the person's like sitting next to you.
Yeah.
Is that right?
Yeah, so what it does, so binaural audio is really cool because you can perceive distance and you can perceive, what side they are in relation to you, like 360 distance and how close they are. So what we hope to do is create short stories that allow the listener to perceive the person like coming into the room with you, introducing themselves, sitting like whatever side of the bed they want. Anyways, a bunch of cool features, but it really adds that element that a lot of audiobook stories lack.
So why short stories and not novels?
Yeah, that's a really good question. So the first reason we chose short stories over novels was because a lot of audiobook listeners only want to listen to, in bed, say a 15 to 30 minute story. So that's perfect for short stories. Second of all, in order to get the full experience of binaural audio, we really wanted to give the listeners, to be able to hear them come into the room, sit beside you, listen to the story, say goodnight, leave the room. So in order to really gain that whole experience of binaural audio, we thought short stories would be perfect. And third of all, short stories is really an untapped area of the audiobook field. So if you think about it, a lot of these larger companies, what they do is they offer a subscription model, say, and you get to download however many books a month. So if you think about that, you'd only want to download the biggest audiobook files you can. You're not going to want to download a 10-minute story if you're on a subscription method. So yeah, it's a really untapped field and it works perfect for Pilōtalk. So that's kind of why we chose short stories.
Okay, it's really interesting. So this idea came from Startup Weekend.
Yeah.
So whose idea was this and how did that evolve?
Yeah, so Alex Call, one of my partners, he pitched it at Startup Weekend. And the second he pitched it, I knew I wanted to be part of it. So we ended up with like a 9-person team, worked through the whole Startup Weekend process, and came down to 3 people now. But yeah, he was the one who really came up with the whole idea, Pilōtalk.
Okay, did the idea evolve over the weekend?
Oh, definitely. We went from the idea of subscription model to a paid content model. Our theme changed. We did a lot of market research and development. A lot of change and kind of how to differentiate ourselves from big competitors too.
So what is the model right now? You mentioned it was subscription, but now it's like pay-per-use?
Yeah, so actually one of the really cool things we got to do over Startup Weekend was talk to the CEO of audiobooks.com, Sanjay, and we were kind of going over, the idea of do we want to do subscription or pay per story? We couldn't really figure that out. He gave us a really good perspective on that, saying that most of these companies do the subscription with larger audiobooks. If we want to do short stories, it's better to do pay per story. So that's kind of what we're aiming towards, like a really low cost, like $1 usually per story. So that's mostly our thing, and we want to do it on an app as well, offer app and website downloads.
Who's the person that's reading out these stories? Like, is that just you guys right now? Or?
So right now we're just getting people we know, but people that have really good voices. So Alex actually has been doing some because he has a really nice voice for it. But we're actually starting, I guess, pretty soon. One of the things we're going into is doing interviews and kind of like hosting auditions for voices.
Okay.
So seeing who we can bring in and hopefully paying some people to come in and read some stories for us.
So what's next for Pilōtalk?
Yeah, so what's next is app development. So currently now we have our website going, but we'd really like to get the app up and going. A little bit more research and kind of exploring our user interests, and as well as story creation. Obviously, that's the big one next for us. So yeah.
Awesome. So if somebody wants to find out more about you, where can they do that?
Yeah, so they can go right to our website at Pilōtalk.com, and that will definitely give them the most information. There's lots of different demos on there, and yeah, definitely.
Cool. So I can actually download an audiobook.
You can download a short story, listen to some demos, choose all your stuff. Yeah, it's really cool.
That's awesome. Thanks for your time, Carissa.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Good luck.
Thanks.